That was both your sons.
Yeah, he's both of them.
But I didn't teach them how to be Bloods and Crips. I just taught them how to read. Well, tomorrow I'm going to be 69.
Yeah!
And I'm hoping my birthday wish is that I'll have 69 tomorrow. Yeah, that's my birthday wish. So, laughing at myself. So, I told you I was a school teacher in New York. I taught in a really tough school. Like you walk in the school building and you see the school colors, black and blue. You know, when we were young, we used to carve our sweetheart's name in the desk. These kids carved their sweetheart's name in their sweetheart. Yeah, they're tough. And you know, I had this student once, and she was very spoiled. You know, like most of them don't act this way, but she was very entitled. Everything she did, if she didn't have her way, she'd cry. So her father came to the parent-teacher conference, and this is a true story, he had her name tattooed on her neck. So the next day she started with her, you know, being spoiled and wanting everything and being entitled. And I said this horrible thing that probably could have gotten me fired. I said, unlike your father, I don't have your name tattooed on my neck. I know, it's pretty bad. Now I noticed you have Westchester University and you have you have another college on the back of your sweatshirt.
That's a band.
And I'm just thinking to myself, and you have Cambridge University. So you don't go to Temple, and I'm just wondering where my 76 average for Long Island University fits in with all these sweatshirts. Like, is it harder to get into your college, or yours is, probably?
It's hard to get into Brockhampton. But
Yeah, Brockhampton University.
Yeah? What do I know? Like I said, I went to LIU. The reason I didn't do well in high school, I have a good excuse. I was a Beatles fanatic. I loved the Beatles. You're a Beatle fan? And like everybody else was studying Shakespeare, I'm looking at the map of London wondering how I'm going to get from Paul's house to Abbey Road. Because that's what I did. I ran away from home and that's what I did. I stood there and I missed LIU. I missed a couple of tests because I was waiting for the Beatles. It's worth it, right? Yeah. But that's a true story about my life. But here's the exciting thing I want you youngsters to know. I went to Woodstock in '68, and then 50 years later I went out to Coachella, and I went to the Desert Trip, and they had the same musicians. But some things changed. Like, for example, Paul McCartney was singing Maybe I'm Amazed 50 years later, and I'm thinking, maybe I'm amazed, Paul. I can barely walk up to the stage, and you're standing there for 3.5 hours. That's not that funny, but this is. They had a tent at Woodstock. You know what it was for? Bad acid trips. The tent at Coachella was for bad acid indigestion. Same people 50 years later. There was a VW bus, very popular when we were young, and the slogan on it said, "Don't come a-knockin' when this bus is a-rockin'." But at Coachella it said, "Don't come a-fussin' until I've had my Robitussin." Yeah, Mick Jagger, he's great, the Stones and all. But at Coachella, he goes like this during Satisfaction. He wants us to sing the verse, the main chorus to him. I stood up in front of all those people. I'm from New York. I came all the way out there, stood up. I go, no, Mick Jagger, you sing Satisfaction to me. And that really happened to me when I went to see Rod Stewart at Madison Square Garden. Maggie made the entire song. He went like this. No, Rod Stewart, you're 75. You are standing there. You sing it to me. That's where I got inspired, and I put it into the Woodstock joke. Just giving you some comedy tips here. But the other thing that happened at Woodstock was, compared to Coachella, was, would you believe that 3 people lost their virginity at Woodstock, but 3 people lost their dentures at Coachella? And they picked up each other's. Yeah. So there's a lot of comics here, and you're freezing to death. In fact, there are so many audience members freezing to death that this reminds me of going to see the Jets at Shea Stadium. Is that where they used to play, Robin? No? Wrong stadium? But I mean, this is like such a big crowd. I feel like I'm in the old Shea Stadium where I saw the Beatles. Well, thank you very much.
Yes, give it up for her, give it up for her.
I wish she was going to go into that.
Elaine Wick.
You know the
One of the
Wait,
man.
guys.
You look like